532,000 troops were encircled at Kiev. Only 15 to 20. Hello, guys. You're welcome to join me. Nice to see you all. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear my voice? Can you type yes if you can hear my voice? I really appreciate that. Can somebody type a yes in the comments if you can hear me? Hello, can somebody hear me? Okay, yes, you can hear me. Cool. You're welcome to join me. Yeah, let's give some few minutes to because I just started, and then let's wait for few people to join us, and then I'll be glad if you can share the link of this video anywhere. If you can share the link, I'll be very happy. So that more people can join us, and then we'll make this session. This session is going to last very short. It's gonna be like about, let me say, about 30 minutes. I just got back from work, and I feel like speaking with my community on YouTube, because this topic is very important to talk about. Oftentimes we become like demotivated. The journey becomes super long for us, and for some of us, we look at like how many years it's gonna take before I can actually like realize this dream. And when we look at the number of years ahead that we need to walk this journey, like it's a lot. It's a lot. Now, like when you begin the journey, it becomes even more stressful and more frustrating that a lot of people want to give up. Last time we did live, I think 3 days or 4 days ago, somebody said they had taken step one, but now they feel demotivated and they don't feel the need to continue this journey. And it gets to that point where people feel that way, and it is not uncommon to find that. I believe we all went through the same thing. Like we all went through similar situations, and I want to share with all of you like how I went through this journey as far as stress, demotivation, as far as maybe anxiety, depression, days of loneliness, days that I feel that am I making the right choice. I faced all those days squarely. I had my own fair share of those similar days, days that you would feel like giving up, just giving up. If you're with me and you're really ready to um, have this conversation, I want you to type a yes for me. And if you don't mind, I am actually going to share the link of this video so that you can be able to join me and as a guest on the channel, and then you can speak to us if you want to speak to us. Everybody will hear you, and it will be nice so that we can hear your voice firsthand. Instead of reading, we'll hear your voice firsthand, and then you can share with us your story, how you are able to overcome the challenges with the steps, and every day of your studies, every hour, things that you do differently that you think you could share with people, things that you've done that you think that if people avoid those things, like it can actually help their journey. It would be great if people will be able to share their stories today. I'll be very happy. I will share the link, the guest link, so that some of you can join. I'll let you in once you click on the link so that you can tell us your story, what is going on, and challenges that you have faced as far as giving up or feeling so tired, or things that you have done that are like have been really helpful in overcoming stress, anxiety, and fear um, of losing out on this journey. Um, I'm going to share the link right now. Um, so I have 4 people so far. I'll be glad if you can share the link. If you can give a thumbs up to this video as well, it will be really good. Give us a thumbs up. I see 4 people. If you can just like the video, I'll be glad. Um, good. I see one person has liked it so far. If you can like this video, please give me a like. If you can like the video, I'll be very happy. I see one person has liked it so far. Great. I see 2 likes. 2 likes. Give me a like. And now let's begin this discussion. Um, okay, now let's go into this video. Um, good. So if you are just joining me, if you are new on the channel, um, this live interaction is not something new. We've been doing this always, every now and then. If you don't know me, my name is Jerry, and I am PGY 2, that is postgraduate year 2 resident in internal medicine in the USA. Um, Meaning that I'm in my second year of residency, and residency is 3 years, so I'm in my second year. And good. So I use this channel basically to help motivate people, guide people as far as residency, USMLE steps, and everything about becoming a resident in the US is concerned. Um, so here we go. So today, that's what we are talking about. If you are ready for this conversation, and type in the comments yes. If you are ready for this conversation, type yes for me, and also like the video so that we can go into this conversation. If you don't mind, you can tell us where you are watching from. It will be really good for us to know. I'm very interested in knowing how far these videos are going, and from how far people are watching from. I'm very interested in learning this. um All right, so let's begin this. I'm going to answer the first question, and what we usually do is that if anybody has any question, they can either write it in the comment, and then oh wow, you're watching from Lesotho. Lesotho. I hope I'm saying it well. That's how we say it in Ghana. So Lesotho. I'm hoping that I'm saying it right, but yeah, thanks for joining, and I'm very glad to have you on the channel. I'm going to open the chat room soon, and then people can join and then share with us what they have to share. It can be anything that you want to talk about. It could be that you want to ask a question. It could be that you want to share your journey with us. It could be that you want to share with us interesting contributions that can help us. We also have somebody watching from Bangladesh. Bangladesh, really good. So you see, we have somebody watching from Africa, Lesotho, and I know that Lesotho is close to South Africa, and we also have somebody watching from Asia, which is Bangladesh. So we are all over the globe. That's really cool. We are all over the globe, and it's really, really cool to have everybody in your family. I have a big family here that that watch this channel all over the globe. So I'm really proud of you guys. Um, all right, so now let's continue this discussion. Um, so first off, I'll begin by answering this question from Amir. I hope I'm saying this well. Shohel. I hope I'm saying the name right. I will answer this question. Let's look at what his I believe you are a male, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But forgive me if I get your gender wrong. Um, I am a government job holder and doing MD in internal medicine in my home country. That's really great, awesome. I'm also preparing for USMLE and green card holder. That's really good as well. Is it a wise decision to move to USA? My year of graduation is 2019. Um, so you are a green card holder. Um, and the question is moving to USA. Another question I'm going to ask you is that what level of USMLE are you? Are you just a beginner, or you've taken step one, you've taken step two? If you don't mind, you can add all those information to us. It will help me to be able to advise you. One thing I know for sure is that coming to the USA and taking the US exams here, if you're taking your exams here, it does not really make a big difference, because coming to US does not influence your scores. I know a lot of people who have moved to the USA, but even they were not able to take the exams. And I know some people who also moved to the US and have been able to take the exam. So it all depends on how serious you are about the step. It doesn't really matter where you are. Good thing is that you do have a green card, if I got you right, or I am also preparing for USMLE and green card holder. So, do you mean you are a green card holder? That's how I understand it. So, if you are a green card holder, then you are in a comfort zone. You don't necessarily have to move to the US in order to match. You have upper hand already because you have a green card already. So, you do have an upper hand, and they are going to call you a US IMG, right? US IMG. So you have the chance of matching into a lot of programs already. So not necessarily, like, you don't necessarily have to come to the USA to take this exam. You can be in your home country and take the exam. And once you pass and you have a green card already, you can still apply from your home country. But then, if you have a green card and after you've taken step two, you can come here, and if you have time you can do some clinical experience, right? But the most important thing is that you have the green card, and once you get your steps, it doesn't matter where you are, you have a high chance of matching into residency. um okay, so you are prepping for, let me project this. So he said he's prepping for step one, prepping for step one, prepping for step one. So you're prepping for step one, and that's really cool. I would say that if coming to USA is gonna distract your attention from studies, then you better stay at where you are right now and just continue studying. What matters is that you've been able to write a step. You being able to write a step one and step two is what matters, and you want to get a good score on step two, because step one is now pass or fail. So you want to get a good steps to score. So it doesn't matter where you're taking the exam from. I don't think coming to the US is an important factor. Only thing is, if you really want a US clinical experience, then fine. Also, if, let's say, you want to do a program like surgery, then coming here to the US to do clinical experience with surgeons from the US makes a very big difference, because um, surgery in the US is a little different from surgery in other countries, and things are changing very fast in the US, where we have machines, robots performing a lot of surgeries that we still use manpower in other countries to do. So it depends on the program that you are applying to. But this is just my broad advice. For specifics, you can also consult with other people who can give you specific advice. I hope I did answer your question, and I'm wishing you very good luck in your journey. All the best when you take your step one and your step two, and I wish you success at the end. Um, so if you are just joining us, my name is Jerry. You're welcome to this channel, and we are just using this channel to educate, help people, and motivate people to to be able to go through this process of taking USMLE, and also be able to match into residency. And so you said I can't concentrate on my USMLE studies. Um, all right, so you cannot concentrate on the USMLE studies when you are. So I can't concentrate on my USMLE study. Do you mean like when you are in your home country? Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be a distraction. Family, you have to work and all that. But also think about it. If you come to the USA, are you going to have to work extra hours in order to be able to afford rent? Afford like monies that you would have to use to pay for the USMLE and all that. So if you have to come to USA to come and work whilst taking the steps, then it's also another difficult thing. But if you get help from your home country, if you have people who would help you, like say if you are married, then maybe you'll have your wife who or your husband who will be supporting you. It's better to stay closer to them than to move out where you will have to come to the US. Whilst you're prepping for step, you still have to work and still send money back home to them. Like it's hard. It's hard studying and working in the US here. Yeah. So think about it very well. And I believe you're an adult, so you would know what is right for you. There's always there's always a chance that you can try things out and see if it works for you, and you can always go back if you feel like you've come to the US and things are not working for you. You can always go back to your home country. So sure. Um, Okay, so I'm going to share the link over here, and if anybody wants to join, they can also join and talk to us. It also makes things cool. It's also nice, so that I'm not the only person who is talking. I feel like you have a lot of things to say to us. Let's hear from you how you are doing with the steps. So far, I've put a link over there. Once you click on the link, you'll be able to share your story with us and how you are moving through this USMLE Step 1 journey, and how you are able to keep yourself motivated. Click on the link and you can join us. Anybody can click on the link and share with us their story, how they keep themselves motivated when you are in your lowest point, and when you are scoring very low, like what makes you feel like you want to keep going? Why don't you give up? You can share with us your story. So I have the link out there. If you're just joining us, my name is Jerry. um Good, I have somebody joining us. Oh, good, I'll add you. And there you are. There you are, Ron. There you are. Hello, can you hear us? Okay, let me unmute you. Okay, so you have to unmute yourself so you can speak to us, Ron. You are welcome to the channel, Ron. You are still muted. Hello, you are still muted. You have to unmute yourself and then you can speak to us. So if you are just joining us, this is a routine that I do these days, to come live and talk to people about the USMLE. We discuss the steps and all that, and also talk about residency. Unfortunately, Ron was not able to connect with us. The link is still available. If anybody wants to join, they can join. Click on the link and we let you in so that you can speak to us and share your story with us, how it is going for you, and how you are able to move through this stressful times or stressful journey. So if Ron is there, I still have the link. Anybody can join with the link. I have the link there where you can join and share your story with us. Kindly give this video a thumbs up. Um, if you like what we are doing, if you like what I'm doing to help people, um, kindly give the video a thumbs up. Thank you. All right. So if anybody has any questions, so you can put it in the comment and then we will talk about it. So Ron was telling us about how he is a green card holder, and I believe he said he lived. Um, yeah, he's a green card holder in his. That's Amir, right? Amir was saying that he was a green card holder in Lesotho, and wife is a citizen in the U.S. and he's studying for step one. So that's really cool. He was asking if he has to come to the US to take the exam, but it looks like he has a lot of support in the US. His wife is already here, so it will be really great. I think it will be really cool because I know somebody whose wife is right here, and then he came to the US to stay. The wife was working whilst he was home, and so he was able to take the steps like very fast, like in rapid succession, and applying for match this cycle. So where your strength, where your supports come from. If you will get support, I think it's one of the best things if you can have a significant other helping you. I have Amir over here. He's joining us. Um, really awesome. So Amir, I have you here, and you can unmute yourself, and then you can speak with us. We'll be glad to hear from you. If you can introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and I'm not sure if I have to. Let me see if I can unmute you. I cannot unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. Amir,
Hello, hello,
hi, hi. I hope I'm mentioning your name right.
yeah, yeah. My name
Great,
is Amir Sohel. Yes.
great. It's good to have you.
Sorry, Mike. I can't hear.
It's good to have you on the channel today.
Yeah, I just found you yesterday. Found your channel yesterday.
Good. There is a lot of motion artifacts behind the background. So if you can just stabilize it for us, um, yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of yeah motions noises in the background. So yeah, so you're welcome to the channel, Amir.
Thank you, Jerry.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Amir, and I live in Bangladesh.
Great.
Yeah, as my wife is a US citizen, so I decide to move to USA because in Bangladesh, I am a I'm in MD course, right?
Okay.
So so I have to do a lot of work in hospital.
Okay.
It's a big it's a renowned hospital, Dhaka Medical College.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't concentrate in my USMLE journey.
Okay.
So I think uh, if I move to USA and my reading working my reading my reading hour, I if I increase it like 10 to 15 hours, if I read, I think I can attend in step on within 6 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
So here in Bangladesh, uh, I just read only 4 to 5 hours,
Okay.
and in and I have to work a lot.
Okay.
So, so as my family, my wife is stay in USA and she is US citizen. So, at the long run, I have to move. So that's why I I want to move to USA.
Yeah. That is that I think that is a very good story that you just shared with us. Yeah, moving to USA. I mean, in this case, it's not at all. It wouldn't be a bad decision for me for you to move to the USA. You have your support system here. Your wife is already here, so and then she understands that you are coming here to study, and then you also work later on after passing the steps. So how many hours do you work when you're back in your home country?
I have to work almost 6 to 8 hours a day, uh, and I have our own course material, right? So as I am a course student, so I have to attend in seminar exam. It's really tough, I think.
Yeah, I do understand that. It's really tough. Like working and studying at the same time is one of the most difficult things to do. You know, because with the USMLE, I feel like you have to study every day, if not
Yeah.
every, like almost every day of the week. You have to study because you are studying new things, and you still have to keep reminding yourself of the old things that you studied. So you have to always be studying, and you need to spend more hours also studying. That's what I noticed. Like if you if you have to work, then once you get home you have to study it also. You know, you rest a little bit and you have to study. So yes, it can be challenging from that angle. I think it will be you will be making a very good choice of moving to the US since your wife is here already. Yeah, that's what I think.
So it's a tough decision for me as I'm a government job holder, right?
Yeah.
So, so I have to leave my course, my government job, and move to USA. It's a big decision, I think.
Yeah.
But
Um. Yeah. If like looking at things from that angle, like leaving your job, I will give myself as an example for you. I look at things this way. Let's say you have something in your hands, right? Like you have something in your hands and somebody is trying to give you another thing. Like if you hold on to that thing, like how do you receive the next one, so look at that thing you are holding in your hands as your current job, and you are trying to receive the US job. Like how do you receive that job if you are holding tightly onto whatever you have? So you sometimes we have to let go whatever we have, to free the space in our hands so we can receive another thing. um Using myself as an example, like when I was in after my med school, like I was in Ghana, I was doing internship. um we were a lot of people who were doing internship at the time. I think over 50 people who were doing internship. But then I sat back and then I decided to analyze things and ask myself, like, is this what I want for myself over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years? Do I want to be in Ghana practicing? Can I do something different that would change my life at the same time? I'll be able to practice in a different place with like in like a state of the art hospital where when I'm practicing, like I have whatever I need to practice. Like sometimes in home country, you are working and you are just improvising. You don't have the actual devices to work with. Like you would need a certain lab. You cannot do it in your home country. So that doesn't bring like job satisfaction in the first place. But so using this example, like took I look into the future and then I ask myself, is this what I want for myself? Would I be happy this with this same job over the next 5 years or 10 years? If no, then make a move now. You understand? And then that is when I let go my internship in Ghana, and then I moved to the US. Right. So I just, what? I'm leaving the internship and I'm not going to take the Ghana board exams, because if I take the Ghana board exam, then I have to stay in Ghana and work. So I decided that I am not going to take the Ghana board exams. I would come and take the US board exams. So I let go whatever I had in Ghana. I just let go whatever I had in Ghana. And then I made sure that when I came to the US, I would do everything possible to study in order to practice over here in the US. Because if I let go what I have in Ghana and I come here also and I cannot practice, then I lose both ends. I lose Ghana and I lose here also. So when I came, I made sure I spent more of my time on studies in order to be able to match into residency. And I was able to match eventually. So sometimes we have to let go whatever we have in order to be able to get whatever we want. Amir, come in.
Yeah, Jerry, yes, I think I will come as fast as possible.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so think about it very well whether it will work for you. But then when you are coming here, the goal is that you are coming to study. So make sure you achieve that goal. Give yourself a timing, because you are going to leave people at your job back home in Ghana, sorry, in your country, right? Bangladesh. You are working with people, you are going to leave people there. They will continue working. But when you come to the US, make sure you are not a failure. So make sure when you get here, you achieve your goal and you are not left behind. Okay?
Yes, I will try my best.
Yeah, I apologize. A call came through. So it got disconnected for a minute. Um why? I put this on do not disturb, but still the call came through. Yeah. Hello, guys. If you're just joining, I was just speaking with Dr. Amir from Bangladesh. He was sharing with us his story and how he plans to move to the US. It is not what I advise everybody to do, but his story is kind of unique because he's able to um, move here because his wife is here. He's already a green card holder. His wife is a citizen already who is working here. So it is like a perfect situation where if he leaves his job in his country, he will still be better off because when he comes here, he can stay home, focus whilst his wife supports him until he's able to take the step. So it's really good. Does anybody have any suggestions to him? You can come on and then speak to us. What do you think? Two heads, they say, is better than one, right? So let's think about this and let's analyze this story very well. Let's analyze his situation very well. If anybody has any take on this situation, you can use the link that says streamyard.com. You can click on that link and I will let you into the chat box and you will give us what you think about this. I've already told him what I think that the right thing would be for him to move to the US and then study for the exam with support from his wife. And given that he's already a green card holder, maybe if he comes here, it wouldn't be long. He will be a citizen. So, with green card holder applying for residency, he also stands a better chance to match. He will have more programs to apply to, and that increases his chance of matching into residency. So, I was advising him that the best decision would be um, to match into, sorry, to come to the US as soon as possible, as he said. So if you are just joining us, my name is Jerry PGY2. Um, you all know me when I started this journey from step one, step two, step three. Now it went into PGY1 residency. Now I'm in PGY2 residency. After this year, I'll have one more year of residency year to complete, and then I can begin to work, or I can decide to going to a fellowship program for additional studies. So if you are just joining us and you are new, that is my brief introduction to you. If you are also someone who knows me already, I'll be glad if you can just say in the comment whether you are new or you know the channel already, and also you can let us know in the comment like where you are watching from. That's very important to us where you are watching from. We have somebody watching from Lesotho. We also had somebody who was watching from Bangladesh. If we can know where you are also watching from. And today's topic is basically trying to motivate people to carry on. And also, if you have any story that you can share with us, how you are able to go through stressful days, days of that you feel down, days that you feel up, and things that you do when you feel that hey, you are going down the hill, like things that you do that bring you out. Um, yeah, I was saying earlier that almost every person has days during the USMLE journey that they don't feel very adequate, they don't feel very motivated to continue. So if you are feeling like you are demotivated, if you feel like you cannot do this, we have all felt same before. If not everybody, almost everybody has felt that where maybe like they'll be sitting for too long and there'll be so much family pressure on them. You know how sometimes like you are always studying and people around you feel like you're not making progress. People around you, they'll be feeling disappointed for you, and they'll think you are not doing anything, and because they don't see the future, so people put a lot of stress on you. um it could be family, it could be a spouse, it could be like acquaintances, relationships, and all that. And sometimes even we ourselves, like we put pressure on ourselves because we look at friends, like progress that friends are making. We look at progress that people are making, and then we start asking ourselves like, am I losing? But it's the future is really bright. Like when you are able to go through all these challenges, there's like you must always have to sacrifice if you want good stuff in life, right? So if you are someone who is going through all this, just know that we have gone through it. If nobody has done, at least I have gone through similar challenges. Yeah, my most important challenge that I went through was like coming to the realization that I want to take this USMLE. It took me almost all like of my days in my med school to decide. I finished med school. It took me like, I think I finished med school and it took me about few months to decide that I finally want to do this USMLE thing, and then I started doing like studying slowly, understanding the process, talking to people, joining groups, studying with people, investing money by buying resources, doing Q banks, like it was like it was like it was a stressful journey. It was a stressful journey, but lo and behold, like I don't actually feel exactly what I used to feel those days. I mean, some of those days, like I don't actually feel the same thing right now. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, you know. Um, yeah. And so there were days that like if I actually remember some of the days of think when I started doing U World, like when I really started doing U World, like first time, first week, first month, I would do like I would do like 20 questions. First off, when I said 20 questions on U World, and then they were giving like I think 30 minutes. I couldn't I couldn't finish 30 minutes of I couldn't finish. I couldn't read the questions to understand. I think I had like some kind of level of dyslexia where like I couldn't read the questions and understand them enough to be able to choose the right answer to move on, because they assign only like 1 minute and 30 seconds to every question, and we all know how long these questions are, and you have to read them, understand them, think about them, read through the answers and choose the right one. And when I started, like when I do like 20 questions of U World, like can somebody guess like what a beginner would typically score on like 20 questions of U World, like a beginner? Can somebody guess in the comments for me? Can some I want somebody to guess like what I was getting as a beginner doing step one U World questions, like what percentage I was getting correct. Because eventually I could get 80%, I could get 90%, but at the very beginning of my studies, like can somebody guess? So somebody's guessing 30%, somebody's guessing 30%, and so 30% of 20 questions. Okay. Let's see, can another person guess? And if you are guessing 30% for me, then it looks like you are sharing your story with us. Like, oh, is this similar for you? Yeah, somebody says 20%. Yeah, it it happened sometimes even as low as 5%, because it feels like you are going to med school all over again. That's how I felt. Like someone says 20%. Sometimes like I would, yeah, I'll get 20%, I'll get 30%. That is good. If I get 20% and I get 30%, like that's really good. But it took me a lot of time to adjust because, and I'm really sorry, like a call came through, so I wasn't so it just terminated the network, and I'm using my phone network, so it just terminated it, and that's why you went offline. You can still use the link if you have more things to share with us. And if you are just joining us, I'm using this channel to interact today. Just talk to people about like how to remain motivated, how to focus on this journey, because it's really worth it when you find yourself in residency and you are working with all these great doctors, cardiologists, neurologists, surgeons. It really feels great, and you are learning from them with the sense that one day you will also be seen as a great doctor, and you are working in the state of the art facilities, and you have everything available to you. Little did I see myself that like from where I came from to here, like I would be working in Johns Hopkins like hospital, Johns Hopkins hospital today. Like I was really surprised, like I didn't see myself working here, like this is what like we do not know. We don't know how far or the potential that we have, and we don't know what is behind us. And they say that if you don't open the next page, you wouldn't know like what is there, right? So you don't want to keep reading the same page every day. You don't want to hold on to the same things every day. The fact that you are working in your home country, and I'm not saying people should not work in their home countries, but then we are also gaining skills here. And eventually, my skills will be transferred to my home country, because I'm going to build maybe a facility in my home country one day. If I don't build a facility, like I would like to teach people in my home country also. Maybe I'll be maybe a tutor in one of the universities, in Ghana, where I can teach people my experience. And maybe I can be in a teaching hospital in Ghana working one day, where I can teach the students, impart my knowledge. Maybe I can set up my own hospital in Ghana. So all these are possibilities. I'm not saying that people shouldn't train in their home countries or they shouldn't work in their home countries, but if it is your passion and it's your dream and you feel like you want something more for yourself, you want to acquire more knowledge so you can help in your home country, you can help yourself also, then it is the right call. It's a right call. um yeah. So yeah, I was scoring very low on UL, but it's really made me feel bad. I really felt very, very bad. um um yeah, I'm going to answer these questions, okay? But yeah, it's really, yeah, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. You can also join as a guest with the link, and then I will let you in to speak, okay? um yeah, so it was very demotivating at the beginning. Lots of people would not tell you that it was demotivating. And of course, people are smarter than some, right? Of course, I'm not the smartest person. I don't even call myself smart. I just learn as I move. Yeah, and yeah. So maybe people scored high when they started their process. There are people who say they use 4 months to study for step one. I wasn't that kind of student who could use 4 months to study for step one. I used about 1.5 years to study for step one. Okay, I used about 1.5 years to study for step one, and I was constantly studying, working, studying. I did more of studies than anything I did. And I spent a lot of time, because when you score very low on UWorld, then you have to take time to read through all these incorrect and correct questions on UWorld, and still go back to the basics and learn from Kaplan, learn from Dr. Najib, learn from Bolts and Beyond. Yeah, so I did a lot of reading. I was never um like I never like gave up. I never gave up when I was doing this. And I know a lot of people who didn't give up, right? So if you feel like giving up, if you feel like you don't want to try because the journey is hard, because I don't have money to spend on this journey and all that, but then within you, you know that this is what you would have wanted for yourself. I would say just start this journey, and then over time you will know that, oh, maybe help will come from somewhere, but or once you start, you'll be able to figure it out. Because when I decided that I was going to start USMLE, I had no single money in my pocket. I had no money in my pocket, when I said I was going to start. Yeah. So going back to the scores, like scores could be demotivating at the beginning, but as you learn and learn and learn and keep doing your incorrect questions, reading through, you realize that your scores improve over time. And that's the essence of the USMLE. It's supposed to train you, supposed to train your mind, help you to study things that you didn't know, so that you can improve your scores. So that is one of the things that for me at the beginning of my studies, scoring very low. If I do 40 questions and I get only 5 out of 40 correct, it means that I have a lot of incorrect questions to read. And doing going through my incorrect questions, you know, it could take me about 1 day or 2 days to finish reviewing those 40 questions. So sometimes I'll just tell myself, oh my God, like this thing is too hard. How would, like I used to ask myself at the beginning, how would a second year medical student know all these? That's what I used to tell myself. Like, how would a second year medical student know all this stuff? And I tell myself that they are not going to ask me this. Nobody's going to ask me this on the exam. So I wouldn't learn those things. I'll just do another block of UL. Then I'll score low again. then I'll do another block and I'll still score low. And what I'll do is like I would, after reviewing the questions, I'll wait for 2, 3 days and I'll do the same questions again. And then when I score like 80%, then I'm like, yay, I know the information. I know the information. But little did I know that I didn't know it, because when I meet those questions in like self-assessment, or I meet them later on after 1, 2 months, like you note that I don't know the information, So I was just trying to feel good about myself. Yeah. Hello, everybody. If you are just joining, my name is Jerry, and I'm a PGY2 resident. You all know me already, I believe. I believe you all know me already. And if you don't know me, that is my name, Jerry. And so I believe you all know me already. You can, if you have any questions, we are just talking today about how to keep yourself motivated so that you can go through this journey of becoming a resident in the US. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can let us know, and then I'll talk about it. You can put it in the comment. If also you have any contribution that you think can help people, like things that you have done that has helped you to go through this journey. If you've taken step one, can you share with us like what you did that helped you? The trick about how to study. If you are taking step two, like just any general advice you can tell us. We have somebody here. Amir is coming back. So I've added you, Amir. I've added you. Um, yeah, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and then you can speak to us. Um, then after that, I'll take the other question. I'll take the first question from um, Akudo Umer. Um, Yeah, and then I'll answer the first question from Akudo Umer, and I'll project the question so that everybody sees it. Amer, you can go ahead and then speak to us. Hello.
So, what is my strategy? I take my preparation from eWorld. So, I just plan that I will finish eWorld twice
Mm-hmm.
uh, without going to any resources like first aid, BNB. Uh, then when I finish two times evolved, then I will go for first aid.
Okay. If I got you right, you want to use the strategy of doing U World independent of first aid, and then coming back to first aid after doing U World twice. Yeah, so that is his strategy. He wants to do U.
Or is it right?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Your line was breaking. All right. So if you're just joining, Amir was talking to us earlier on, and the network went off from my end. I apologize. He is from Bangladesh, and he was telling us that he works there as a medical doctor, and and then he's doing internal medicine there, and then he's hoping to move to the US because he has a lot of support from the US. His wife is in the US, and yeah, I would. Good. So Obai, I will let you in soon after we deal with this. So just stay in for us. So Amir is telling us that he wants to move to the US, and he was asking us like, was it the right decision to make? And so we agreed that yes, we think that it is the right. I think that it is the right decision, since he has all the support from his wife, who is a citizen of the US, and also he is a green card holder. So coming to the US, he should come here, stay here, and study. He's saying that he has to work over like 8 to 9 hours in his home country, and that distracts him a lot from studies. So my advice is that he moves here. Now he came back and he's asking another question that his strategy is doing U World twice and then moving on to doing um doing you all twice and then moving on to do first aid. um I would think that when you once you start U World, first aid is supposed to be that guide for you to use, so that you want to do all of them at the same time. You want to do first aid U World and First Aid U World, Pathoma, and Boss and Beyond to like at around the same time. You don't want to do one before you go to the other because they are all talking about the same things. First aid is more detailed than any resource that you'll find. So that if U World is talking about if U World is asking you one question about say um maybe causes of cancer, and then you world is just asking you one, maybe the person is a smoker, right? Maybe that predisposed them to cancer, and you world is asking one question. First aid will give you additional answers to that question. So you want to learn it as you go. So you review the U world and then match it with the first aid topic at the same time. So don't separate the resources. You might end up wasting your time because you would need a lot of differentials when you are studying. Because when you would ask you a question, first aid will have more addition to that question, more information. So you want to also see what first aid is telling you. And also, we take note from you all into the first aid so that once you are reading, you'll be able to remember like that you would ask this question, and then this is how they talked about it. So I would pick the second person, Oba. Let's get you in, and then you also share your thoughts with us. Um, all right. Okay, Oba, let's get you in. If you can log in again, let me see. Over here you are. I have you in. I believe. I don't know what's happening. Um, all right, Oba. There we go. There we go. You are in. Hello, Obai. Um, I hope I'm mentioning your name right. Okay, so we lost Obai again. We lost Obai. Um, so anybody can use the link above, the link that says streamyard.com. You can use this link to join us. Let's add Obai here, and then you can talk to us. There we go. Hello, Obai. Good to have you.
Hello?
Yeah, good to have you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I thank you first for giving us this opportunity to experience or share the experience with a current resident in the United States. And
Yeah.
so,
Thank you for.
um, thank you. For me, I typed in the comments that most of the YouTube videos that we see about the journey of the USMLE in America, it's a little bit demotivating because um, it's not just about the step one. Obviously, the goal is matching, of course. So it's not just about the steps, the step one and step two, but there's other things that are required, kind of, to have a good chance to match, like for example the USCE, the United States Clinical Experience, maybe research. These things are kind of like, for example, for many people are costly, so it's very expensive to do.
Hmm.
So what we hear is there is a bad chance on matching without these, for example, the United States Clinical Experience. So what I basically hear from YouTube is that the steps are not enough. So if you applied with just the steps, the step one and step two, it's not enough. So what do you think about that, and what should someone do in this situation?
You are 100% right. The steps alone is not enough. It is a whole application that you would have to do. And the application, a lot of things goes into it. But the most basic things that you would need would be the steps. Step one and step two. Now, I can tell you that some people match into residency without US clinical experience, right? Because they have home country clinical experience. Some people also match without research. And last time I was saying that research and publications depends on the program that you are matching into. If you are matching into surgery, research, publications, and US clinical experience is very important. If you are matching into cardiology, it's very important. Like if you're matching into anesthesia and all that, research is important for you to do. Like, so let me basically say, like, the program is if the program is competitive, then a lot of people bring a lot of research that they've done, so they stand a better chance, right? Now, so over the years, like, people have submitted a lot of research work, so it looks like, oh, if I don't add research, my application is not it's not enough for me to match. But it all depends on what you're applying into. If you're applying into family medicine, nobody cares about a research or publication. If you add it, it's good. If you don't add it, nobody cares about it. If you're applying into internal medicine, primary care, nobody cares about your research or your research experience, right? If you're applying into family medicine or internal medicine, a primary care, if I want to be a hospitalist, who cares about me doing research? It's only when you are going into fellowships that need research. Like if I need to go to fellowship like doing nephrology, I don't really need to do any publications before I go into it. Infectious disease, probably I don't need anything. But if you do, it's a plus for you, right? So the research is just telling the programs that, oh, if I come, I want to go into a fellowship in this program later on, and these are the things that I have done. I've done this research and all publications in order to prepare for this in the future. So, like, oh, I want to go into cardiology, and I have six publications from cardiology already. So when I come into your program, I would what as I'm doing residency, I will do more publications and finally march into fellowship. And when people match into fellowship, it gives the programs also like a good outlook, because now they can sell their program better, right? And also their accreditation is assured that a lot of people go to fellowship from their programs. So um that makes, so publications and all that makes the application nice. It is not like a must, okay? And and when you go into fellowship, to some residencies will teach you how to do all these publications. So it's not like a must. They don't actually look at it like it's a must for you to apply. People match without it. Now, that notwithstanding, the US clinical experience can be expensive if you have to travel from your home country to come and live in the US to get a clinical experience. It gives you a better chance of matching, knowing that you know the system already, right? But then a lot of people also have matched from their home country and they've never stepped their foot in the US. So I think people should look at what they have. If you've never been to US and you don't have money to apply for visa, you don't have family here, don't try coming to the US. Just get good doctors from your country, okay, to write good letters of recommendation for you, okay? And let the programs know that you are smart and you can adapt and you can adjust and you can learn very fast, okay? And give examples of times that you learned very fast and you were able to overcome challenges with ease. So that is what I think people should be looking at. But the primary thing is taking the steps. If you don't take the steps, you can't have the chance to say all these things that I just talked about, right? Yeah. So the steps are the basic things. If you can clear the steps, all other things you will find that, or maybe if you need a pathway, pathways also might be you might need people to doctors depending on the pathway that you are doing. You might need doctors to come in and sign you off. You might, if you're also practicing in your country, then you already have a license, so you don't need to anything. But then we also pay for the pathway, which is also like almost like $900 to $1,000. So that is also another hidden fee that we don't talk about. So if you say that there are a lot of things that we don't talk about, yes, it's true, but we only talk about the main ones, the most important ones, which is the steps. Later on, after passing the steps, because the steps are scored, right? So if you don't pass that, then you cannot say I have a pathway. And if you don't pass your steps, how do you apply for even the residency in the first place? So there are some hidden fees that we don't usually talk about, like the pathway. We don't talk about it, the clinical experience, because I don't know what somebody would do, whether somebody will travel to the US. So I cannot use that as a general term. You don't have to come to the US in order to have clinical experience. You don't have to come to the US in order to get a good letter of recommendation to a practice. That's why we don't actually talk about it. Some people might look it seem like um, it's rosy. It's not actually rosy. Some people also make it seem like it's very scary. It's not too scary. I just think people should take it a day at a time. Just do what is necessary, and gradually, everybody will go through this. Once you decide that that's what you want to do. I hope I answered your question. Like, if there's any specific, please come in and let me know.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. I think you've given a very brief, very wide explanation. For the other question, I'm currently studying for my step one.
Okay.
Um, I'm actually a second year postgraduate. So I graduated 2 years ago, but without any clinical experience yet, because I'm not in my home country right now. And the country I'm in right now is Germany. There's no possibility for me to do any clinical experience whatsoever. So currently I want to start my USMLE journey, and my plan is to use, for example, the boards and beyonds
Yes.
and the U World, and for the first aid, I didn't like it so much because it's just like a reviewing book. It's not like a studying book.
Mhm.
So I prefer boards and beyonds and U World and Pathoma, and that's it.
Yeah.
Will that be a good strategy, do you think?
Yeah. You are right. First aid is not it's just a comprehensive summarized book, and you have to still go to your basics to in order to appreciate what is in the first aid. So using the boss and beyond is a very great strategy. When I started with steps, I was reading first aid. Like I'll just be reading it, and at the end, nothing sticks in your head. So doing boss and beyond was the game changer for me. Though I was doing for UWorld, like I wasn't even retaining anything. But once you start doing Boss and Beyond, and he starts giving you examples and clinical scenarios and telling you about how they will ask the questions on your boards, and then you go back to UWorld, you realize that, oh my God, like this guy is really making a difference in my life. And then when you start, the first time I passed an NBME, the mock test, the first time I passed was when I did the boss and beyond, because I was always failing the I was failing the NBME mock tests until I did boss and beyond. I did boss and beyond in cardiology, and then I think I did cardiology, I did biostats, and I did probably another topic. But then when after doing that, and I did NBME, I scored like 100% on cardiology in the NBME. I think it was 10 questions and I scored all correct. And that was the first time I passed the NBME with like a 194 or something. Yeah, or 204. Yeah, it was 204. That was my first time of passing it. So Boss and Beyond is a very great resource. Just make sure that when you are reading the Boss and Beyond, you need to have like a broader perspective, a broader differential, and and the first aid summarizes everything. So you want to refer to the first aid also at the same time. So what I advise people is that Boss and Beyond basically is teaching you the first aid. So you want to open the first aid whilst you are listening to Boss and Beyond, and then you are just noting points and looking at what Boss and Beyond is saying, and then looking into the first. And the first aid will be where you are making your notes into. So make your notes from Boss and Beyond into the first aid. Don't make a separate note, because that would mean that you are copying things that are already in the first aid into another book. So use the first aid as your notes. Yeah. Now going back into your first question, I think I've so your first question, you said you were studying for the step one. Like, if you can remind me about your first question, or the first part of the question, um, I'll be happy to talk about it. And then we'll let Amir wants to come back and talk to us. But before then, there is someone who's asking a question here. Obai, you are still on, so if you want to talk, you can. Then I'll answer this question. Hi, everybody. If you are just joining, we are talking about the USMLE as usual. And today we want to motivate people who feel like they need some input, some advice. You can talk to us. You can also use the link above to join the chat, the chat box, and then you speak to us live. So the next question here is that what's the best way to retain all the information from UWorld? The best way is to make flashcards out of UWorld and make sure you review flashcards every day. So use Anki. When you do a question, whether you get it correct or not, ask yourself, can I remember this information in 3 months if I do not revisit it? If you cannot remember, snap take your phone to snap that question or the answer or the tables that you want to give into your Anki flashcard, and make time for Anki flashcard every day. At the end of your studies, before you sleep, 2 hours, 1 hour, do Anki flashcards, and that helps you with spaced repetition, and then you can always remember the information. I hope that helps. Good. So I think Obai is done with us. I'll let the next person into the chat. If somebody has another question, you can ask. Let's go to the next question. There we go. You can use the link to join. Next question is, hello, doctor. The state of Tennessee has not yet started accepting doctors. I received information that they need foreign doctors. There was simplification for qualifying to practice medicine. Yeah, I heard this story also. I heard this news about 2 months ago, or 2 to 3 months ago, where they said like there was a pathway. But then again, I heard somebody also sent me a link like last week about this same thing. Let me see if I'll find that link. It was still the state of Tennessee. I believe that was saying that they do not want to certified doctors because they don't want to approve this pathway, because they feel like this is not it's a public health hazard of people who have not practiced in the US before, and they don't have US clinical experience. So you want to look into this. You want to look deep into this, well, because I'm seeing different publications this time around. So try to look into it and see if these are true. And actually, you can start the application process and see if you are denied or not. There are a lot of publications out there, could be wrong, could be true, we don't know, you know. Even the like even the mainstream media, sometimes they put false information. So just make sure you look into this very well. I hope I answered this question. um if you have any further questions, either use the link to join us, or you can also use the comment box to type your questions in there. I do have Amir back. I'll let you in, and then I'll let Obai also in. Okay. All right. So let's start with Amir. You can talk to us, then Obai will also be able to talk to us. Let's go.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Yeah, I have another question. Like my plan to finish evolved. Like uh, I have finished first aid and Davidson. It's a uh, it's a book from England. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I just completed it. So my plan is to finish the evolved within 4 months.
Okay.
So then I think I will move to first aid and board and beyond, because I think I know all the topics. If so, it's my plan. Is it okay, or how you think?
Yeah, I think it's good to try anything that you think would work for you, because the most important thing is that you assessing your knowledge, okay, and see what you are scoring on UWorld and see what you are scoring on the NBMEs. That's the most important thing. So if you feel like you are familiar with the topics, which I do not doubt, if you're familiar with the topics, then what you do is go ahead and do the UWorld, okay? And wherever you find your deficiencies, you would meet it in UWorld. You will know that, oh, I'm not good at this topic. You would find it, and it will all be in your incorrect questions, and you will have the opportunity to restudy them. So it wouldn't be wrong to do that once you're familiar with the information. It's only when somebody feels like their basics are weak and they want to start with the basics, that is when that you want to start with the first aid and boss and beyond and all that. Yeah. But if you're familiar with the topics, then great. You can just go ahead. Your plan is good.
Yeah. So, can you please tell me uh, what is the best resources to read biostatics and biochemistry? I
Bios,
think, yeah,
bios,
it's
you
really hard.
sorry.
Yeah, biostatics and biochemistry, these two chapter, I think it's really hard for me.
Yeah.
So, could you please tell me how
Videos.
to study it?
Sorry. So Kaplan videos are the best for biostatistics. Kaplan videos are the best. So if you get access to it, praise the Lord. Like they are the best for biostatistics for me. And also, if you can read from Amboss, Amboss is also great when it comes to biostats. Um, then when you talk about biochemistry, I use Dr. Najib, okay, and I use Kaplan for some part of biochemistry, the genetic part of biochemistry. Kaplan was great, and I used Dr. Najib for the molecular biology. Is it molecular biology? Now, let me say the metabolism part, right? Metabolism, where they talk about glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and all that. Dr. Najib was the best person, like to teach you gradually so that you can memorize the enzymes and know where everything is working. Then after that, just do you world questions on them, and then you'll be able to consolidate the information.
As I decide to sit for step on within 8 months, so I think I haven't enough time to watch Dr. Nazib's video,
It,
and
yes,
many more resources. So, what is the best way to get more knowledge with less resources?
you see, sometimes I advise people to do doing different resources does not necessarily mean that you are doing a lot of resources. You are doing tactical approach where you know that over here this is the best resource to use, so you don't have to come and repeat it in Boss and Beyond. I will not advise you to watch. Um, I will not advise you to watch like biochemistry in Boss and Beyond, for example. It might work for somebody, but from my experience, I think Dr. Najib is better in biochemistry than Boss and Beyond, right? So if you want to learn it once and for all, then go to Dr. Najib, spend the time, maybe spend like 1 week to study all the biochemistry from Dr. Najib. It's possible. I think that's what I did, and everything just stuck in my head, and that was it. And some of these things, sometimes you might think that, oh, I don't have time, but you end up having to have time for it. If you rush through it and you don't get grasp the information well, then you will still have to come back and still take your time. So um what worked for me, I think Dr. Najib is great. If you've ever watched his videos, it's great. Just for biochemistry, you can increase the speed of the video a little bit. If you feel like you want him to move faster, you can increase the speed of the video a little bit, but not too fast. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. So, I was the Dr. Nazib's video for biochemistry, right?
Yes. Great. All right. So let's go to Obai also. Obai, you can come in. Let us know. Um, just a quick one. If you are just joining us, my name is Jerry. I believe I'm not a new face. We are talking about USMLE, how to stay motivated. If you have any question, you can ask, and you
Yeah.
can also use the link to join. Yeah, go ahead, Obai.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you. So, for example, if someone is planning on applying to residency next year, so this year is already finished. Of course, we are in September. So if someone is planning to apply next September, for example, and he's just started with the whole journey. So what should his plan or her his dates to finish like the step one, the best when like the best time to finish the step one and step two, and maybe have some time for US clinical experience in the middle in order to be in next September ready and everything set.
Yeah, this is a good question. Um, what I think about this is it all depends on the person's baseline knowledge, baseline familiarity with the information. If you are familiar with the materials and you start and you are scoring good on UWorld, okay, and you are scoring good on your NBMAs, there are some people once they start, because probably they started their studies in the med school was kind of closer to the USMLE style. Okay. Once they start, they score high already because they are familiar with the information. Now, if you are not familiar with the information, then it's also a different approach, right? So I think first off, like when you start, like just take an NBME and it will tell you where you are. Or like when you do UWorld, a little bit about like few months of UWorld. Let's say you do like 20% of UWorld, you want to try NBME to see where you stand. And once you start a UWorld, if you are getting like 20%, 5% like I was getting, then that tells you that you are nowhere close, right? So that 1 year might not actually work for you. There's no rush in this journey. You don't want to rush and get low scores. You don't want to rush and fail, because if you fail even one step, like it limits the number of programs that you can apply, because some programs will categorically state that they don't want somebody who has failed any of the steps, right? So some programs categorically states that if you failed any of the steps, don't even apply because they wouldn't look at your application. That's one thing. So you want to be able to test your abilities as early as possible. I know people who say they did steps in in like 4 months. They did step one in 4 months. If they can do step one in 4 months, they can do step two in another 4 months, right? And that puts them from now until 4 months from now. So we are in August, right? September, October, November, December. Maybe January, 5 months, they take step one, right? And let's say by May, they take step two. They can easily apply. They can do clinical experience and apply. So it depends on the baseline knowledge. Yeah. So this question will be good to answer if you start taking your NBMEs, and then you give me feedback about like how you are scoring, and you do UWorld and how you are scoring. I'll be able to like probably tell you like what you should do. A lot of people like myself waste time when we start studying. We waste time. We don't ask for help. We don't ask people the smart ways to go. We stay by ourselves. Some of us, we don't even discuss with people that we are taking steps. We just hide. I don't want anybody to know that I'm taking steps. But there are a lot of people out there who are taking the steps. So find those people. Some are on Instagram, some are on Facebook, some are on Telegram. Find them and discuss with them, like, hey bro, like, you've been studying, like, how are you going about this? How are you studying this? What's the best resource to use? How did you study this? They will tell you there are smart ways of going around this thing than just staying in the room all by yourself, and after you've made all the mistakes, then you are now asking for help, and that time is not going to wait for you. So don't repeat my mistake of studying. Like, let me say I started studying like in July, July, August, September. My first 3 months was waste. It was like zero. I was always taking the book and stay in the room and read, and I don't understand anything. I did not even know that Bots and Beyond had like offline version. I didn't know UWorld had offline version. I didn't know NBME had offline version. I didn't know Pathoma had offline version. So I was just spending money buying all these resources, and I didn't even have time to learn them very well. So talk to people so they can share their experiences with you. You know. Um, so I hope I answered your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And another question, please. About the surgical, for example, residencies, for example, the surgical residency, what is the minimum, for example, letters of recommendation a person should have to comfortably apply for the surgical, for example, the least of them, like general surgery, for example.
I think so for all of the programs, at least three is what you need, at least. Now these three, they should carry some strength, right? Like in surgery, they should carry some strength, because in surgery, like, if you actually work with a surgeon who allows you to work with them, right, then their letter of recommendation is going to be very strong, because most surgeons like, they are well known, right? Most surgeons are well known. So once you say, oh, I work with this surgeon, and he says he gave you a letter of recommendation, it will be easier, it will be easier for you to match, because you have letter of recommendation from a renowned surgeon who everybody knows, right? So it will be easier. So it doesn't matter the number of letters of recommendation that you have, or clinical experience, but it's who you are doing it with and where you are doing it also matters. Yeah. Like, there are people who I know who were, let's say, they were in surgical fellowship in their home countries for a number of years, then they apply here also, and then they work with some surgeons here, and that eases their chance of matching. So they have experience from their home. There's evidence to show that they were already in residency for surgery, right? So yeah, I think it's about whom you do it with and where you do it. Yeah, matters a lot. We have a lot of questions to answer here. Um, yeah, go ahead if you still have something to say, but I'll take this question. Um, so, can you provide me with books or materials to study? I am in Mozambique. I am interested in studying my US in 2025. Um, So basically, the books that you need is first aid. You need Pathoma also, and you need Pathoma videos. You need Boss and Beyond also, and you also need the U World. And all these, as I said, they are there's offline, there's PDF version of all this. So you choose your choice, and these are the basic materials. And once you start, you would come across other resources that might be helpful. Um, yeah, like Kaplan helps some people, you know. Yeah, let's take the next one. For NBME, how long before the exam should we start with them? And is there a specific order to take them? Yeah, there are specific orders. Basically, people are able to predict which ones are more like similar to the real deal. But as of now, I cannot provide that information because it was a long time that I took those NBMAs. But over time, people are able to predict which ones are closer to their exam scores. There are websites that you can use to check that. Um, and once you join Reddit, there's a Reddit group for step one, Reddit group for step two. Find those groups and join them. And once you join those groups, you can talk to people, ask questions there, find people that just ask questions and people will answer you. Also, how soon should you start the NBMAs? I would say that for NBMAs, if you want to start, there was a criteria that I used to give people, like if you've done like at least 50% of your exam, sorry, of your U World. If you've done 50% of your U World, you can start NBME. But also, if you feel like you are scoring high on the U World, okay, you are scoring above like 60%, 70%, your scores are consistent 60, 70, okay, then you can take NBME at any time to see where you stand. Yeah. But then if you're scoring low, then you want to make sure that you've done enough for your scores to be like around 50s to 60, then you can try. Yeah. So it all depends on what you are getting on UWorld and how you are retaining those information. And if you want to use the link, you can use the link to join. Let me see how much battery do I have? About 20% battery live. Let's see this. Okay, I have 20% battery life, so that's I still have some life. Yeah, so if you are just joining us, you see the topic already, just talking about USMLE and helping people stay motivated. Let's take the next one. This is for Akudo. I think you skipping my initial question. I have so I have to get offline now. So won't be here when um, you get to it. Thank you. Let me see. I'll find it and let me see if I'll find it. Akudo. If I find it, I'll be able to answer it. Akudo. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so any advice on how to remember? Yeah, I think I answered this. How to remember the information. I asked you to do um, flashcards, right, and revisit them always for space repetition. Um, watch some of your videos, but the problem persisted. Um, yeah, I think basically it's flashcards, flashcards, flashcards. If you feel like you're forgetting information, it's flashcards basically. Let's answer this one too. What is the best way to retain all the information in your world? We answered this also. It's all about flashcards. Just do flashcards and do space repetition for this. Um, okay, says makes sense. Thank you so much, everybody for joining today. If nobody has any further questions, we can call it a day. I'll give some few minutes. Like, if anybody has any contribution to add, just put it in the.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe I have, sorry. Yeah, maybe you can tell us about your whole journey at the end, like your whole journey, maybe in detail. Of course, I prefer in details,
okay.
as people are a little bit scared. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so that would help, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can share my journey with you. So basically, I, of course, I'm from Ghana, um, from Ghana, and yeah, I wasn't born into a rich family. So from Ghana, my dad was basically who was taking care of me until I finished my high school. Right, I finished high school. Then when I finished high school, that's where I would have like stopped schooling. Right, that's where I'd have stopped schooling because when my sister finished, like she had to learn a trade to become a hairdresser. And then when I finished, probably I would have when I finished high school, I would have been I don't know what would I have learned. Maybe if I had to choose, I would have learned to be a mechanic, but then one of my mother's brothers was like a carpenter, right? A carpenter. So I would have learned carpenter work because I wouldn't have to go pay anybody to learn that. And then when I was in high school, I used to help him when he was making furniture for my dad. So indirectly, I already know how to hold the tools and all that. So and it was like a trend in my family, right? That trend is there where everybody finished high school, and then some of them say they will not continue, and some of them there's no money. So in my case, there was going to be no money to take me to school. So I was fortunate to get a job with someone where I was working in their boutique, right? And I was selling clothing and all that. And then I was able to save some money after that. Like I used that money to I remember that month that I bought like the nursing form, right? I wanted to go to nursing school after that. And I bought a nursing form with my salary for that month. So that whole month, like I was very hungry. So I used all my salary to buy the form. I filled the form to two nursing schools. No, I filled it to one nursing school. Yeah, I bought the form in one nursing school and I mailed it to the another nursing school. So I got the interview. I went and I got admission into the nursing school, and then I had to like pay my way out. Like I had to pay my way out um this yeah. I want you to understand the story well because it will be incomplete without me adding like going back a little bit about myself. And I am not shy to share this journey because it's worth sharing. So so basically after going to nursing school, like also my dad wouldn't pay my tuition because he was done after high school. He was done. So and even like I did not inform him that I'm buying forms to nursing school, so there's no preparation or anything. So I went to nursing school for 3 years, all of them paying by myself, um, trying to find ways and like ways to make money. Sometimes I'll go to this construction sites to work hard, and then some days like I'll be so sick, but I still have to work hard to make money to come and pay my tuition and all that, to feed myself, pay rent, and buy clothing. Sometimes like wearing just one clothing. For I remember like I couldn't even go to church because I only had one clothing when I was on campus as a nursing student, and I had only one uniform for a number of yeah. So I after the nursing school, like like if you've gone through like hardship, you would be smart because you don't want your kids to go through the same thing. And what I'm doing is it's not for me. Like I'm trying to do it so that my kids don't face the same problems. So after the nursing school, like I got a job. Like the government posted me to one place to go and start a clinic over there. So I went and then I started a clinic with a team of other professionals. So we started this clinic, and then we were working. So basically, I was the head of the clinic, and as a nurse, like I didn't know so much, but I had to like prescribe medications to people, and I was there for almost 1 year. And then after that, like I realized that I was not like I needed more. Like you are treating people, but you don't understand the mechanism of the medications. Like you need more understanding. So that's what triggered me to say, you know what, I want to go to med school. And on top of that, so if I go to med school, I'll be able to give better treatment. I'll also be able to make better money, right? So I decided to go to med school. Like, I mean, after that, like, I was already on nursing pay. So I was able to save like that nursing pay, and I was not going to the bank. If I go to the bank, I'm going to pick my money and transfer it to another bank. So I was able to save that, and I saved that nursing money. Oh, there's somebody in the comment. Oh, it
No, I
says
think that's me. That's me.
okay. So there was somebody.
Yeah.
So I was able to save all this nursing money gradually. Then I applied to um, medical school in Ghana and also in China. So Ghana medical school, like I was below the grade that they wanted by 1 point, right? By one. So I didn't get response from them, but I was lucky to get response from China. So then after getting a response, they sent me a letter, they sent me a form they called JW202. They sent me that form, then I took it to Chinese embassy in Ghana. They gave me student visa. Then I moved to. I was able to find money quickly to buy flight ticket, and then I was able. I had some money from my work in Ghana, so I was able to pay the tuition. Right, I was able to pay the tuition in China for the first year and second year, and then when I got to China, I was able to do some little jobs to pay my tuition and also pay rent and all that. So like through that, like this is like hardship, like because there was no day that I had free money on me. Either I'm using to pay my tuition or I'm using to pay, and all days, like being another man's country, and your family, even they cannot look after you when you are in your own country. So how much my dad cannot afford a flight ticket, my dad cannot afford, but he's passed. So like I'm not trying to degrade him, but he's a very honorable man.
Yeah, we understand, of
He
course.
he he always made sure there was food at home, so I was never hungry for that for sure. But then there was no extra money for extra things. So I was able to like also go through the same way I went through my nursing school. I was able to go through my medical school as well in China. So after finishing medical school in China, right? Like I think when I was in fourth year, and then I just took my nursing um my nursing license that I had, and I applied to nursing job in the US. So I was able to write the nursing exam, and then I passed the nursing exam in the US, right? So when I passed this nursing exam in the US, then I was able to move to the US after graduating from med school. And then when I got here, I got a nursing job, and then I started taking the USMLE. I started studying gradually for the USMLE, and then I passed the steps, and now I'm in residency. So like this is just brief how it was. It was a very little beginning where there was no hope, and then I had to build up the hope for myself by myself. I had to build it up gradually, and so I am here today. So it's that's how it is. Yeah. So if some of you have, like, you have your wife here who is working, you're already a green card holder, you have no, I don't think you have a lot of excuse to say you will not do it, because some of us did it by ourselves. If you have your parents who can sponsor or who can even add to whatever you have, some of you had your parents pay your tuition in school and all that, you don't have excuse. Some of your parents are so rich, like all you need is to just sit your butt down and read. That's all you need. I know somebody whose parents bought a car for them, like after they passed the step one, because they passed step one. Like their parents bought a car for them. But some of us did not even get like congratulations, you've done well. So a lot of people don't have excuse to say they don't want to do it unless they are comfortable, right? But people actually want to do it, but it's just that they don't have the willpower to complete this, like to go through the suffering that we have to go through, the stress, the everyday sitting that we have to go through. People just don't have that. So a lot of people don't have excuse to say, I cannot do it. People can actually do it. It's just that that willpower is not there. Yeah. I hope I was able to answer your question well.
That was very nice. Yeah, that was very nice. For a lot of people, I think it relates with a lot of people who are struggling with the costs of the USMLE journey. It is expensive, very expensive. I'm from Africa too, so this So it's the same struggles of money and expenses. And
Yeah, it
so
is. I know it can be expensive, but like there are a lot of ways you can make things easier, like using offline version. Because if you don't have money to buy it, just use the offline version, right? And things are expensive, but you find people buying, people who complain that these things are expensive. Some of them are using like big iPhones. They have big TVs in their room, they have big cars and all that, but they are still crying out it's too expensive. Like, we need to cut down on cost. We spend so much money on mobile data, watching YouTube, watching Facebook, watching Twitter, like Instagram, and we spend so much money on data. Like, those little monies that we spend, you know, can actually like add up, but we don't realize that they can add up. The big clothing that we buy, the big shoes, like to impress people, we can cut down on those costs so that we can have a better life. Like, we can enjoy later on. Like, if you want to enjoy all your life now, then there's no enjoyment later on, like, yeah. So just cut down on cost. People can cut down cost, but I don't know if people are ready to actually cut down cost. Yeah.
thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I hope this session was interesting. If I still don't have enough likes on this video, that's so surprising. People are just watching me and they're like, look at this boy. um this boy, look at this boy, like he has time for YouTube. Look at him. I just have 5 likes. Oh my god. And I had a lot of people watching me. Hello, Obaya, still here, right? Hello.
Hello again.
Yeah, a call came through, so yeah. So what I'm saying is, I know a lot of people are not going to listen to this part of the video, because it's at the end, right? Nobody's going to watch YouTube for 2 hours. So that's why I'm comfortable sharing this story at the end. At the end of the
No, for the people who are interested, I think they will. If they will only watch it until the end.
video. A lot of people will not watch it to the end. So uh, yeah. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So yeah. So one question more. How often do you do these seminars for us to ask questions when we go
Uh,
through while we are going through the USMLE journey? If any questions that we have.
yeah, I try to I would try to come like every week, every week at least once. So just keep on the look. Like, try to, when you subscribe, press on the notification, so that once I go live, you'll get notification. Okay. But I'll try this
That's
day
great.
to come once every week at least, if not more, but at least once every week. Yeah.
That's
So
great. Thank you.
thank you so much for joining. All right. Have a wonderful night, everybody, and I'll talk to you again. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.